Conan the Barbarian, slayer of vermin and layer of women. I will crush any enemy that enters into my land and thrust my blade into their evil life force, and I will break the head of the invaders in with my own. For I, Conan, the scourge of Carpathia, the sorrow of Moldavia.
We get rid of that, and Conan the Barbarian. This is one of those worlds where everything is easily breakable. Like, all their cities and structures are made entirely out of Legos. You just touch something and watch it fall apart. It's for the pure purpose of over-dramatizing the scenes. Everything falls apart at the drop of a hat. When men riding on horseback get shot with an arrow, even the horse falls. Is all this movie knows. It has scenes that really have nothing to do with the movie. They're just there to show you how strong Conan is. Like when young Conan is running a race with the other Sumerian children and these painted warriors come out of the woods and young Conan just the out of them. And you're thinking, man, this kid is crazy. That tribe is going to be pissed at the Sumerians. But nope, that's it, next scene. And the next scene is pretty much Conan all grown up and still everyone in his path. I mean it, this movie has a lot of in it. You will see You will see You will see That last one doesn't have anything to do with but you'll see him. Now the whole purpose for all this is because Kalar, an evil warlord, Conan's father in search of this last little bone piece to add to a powerful helmet that will make him unstoppable. He also wants to resurrect his dead of a wife who had immense power, and to do this, he needs the pure blood of a woman who, you know, blah blah blah. You've heard the story before, I'm sure, so we're gonna move on. So Kalar tries to kidnap the pure blood woman, but of course Conan steps in and Kalar, but Kalar's daughter Conan, so he can't Kalar, but he still rescues the girl. He then sets sail with her and his merry men, and through the magic of editing, he's not anymore. Magic of editing or lazy writing. You pick. But while they're out in the ocean, Kalar's henchmen paddle their rowboat up to Conan's ship, they climb aboard and then start to Conan and his men all of the henchmen, naturally breaking everything in the process, and then cheer for their victory and move on to the next scene. Really? No one questions how they found them. You're in the middle of the ocean. They were in a rowboat. How the hell did they get out there? There was no other ship they came from. Who was on watch when this happened? I don't know about you, but I think it'd be pretty easy to spot a couple of guys rowing their way towards your ship. You think those guys are going to attack us? Yeah, they're probably going to attack us. So they end that scene, nothing was explained, no progression in the story was made, just f***ing keep moving. You know those movies where things are over-explained or talked about too much, and the scenes kind of suffer for it? Well, this is the exact opposite of that. It's all with little to no explanation. Which isn't really a bad thing, but this is one of those movies where all the scenes are filmed close up. I've always hated it when movies do this. It doesn't make the scene more intense. It makes the scene more confusing. Every scene is filmed like this. So Kalar has an ultra creepy daughter who's developing powers of her own, and she tells her father in this very bizarre and very creepy scene that they don't need to resurrect her mom because she could give her father powers instead, and that she's becoming better than her mom in every way. And when you watch that scene, you start to get that vibe that things aren't entirely as they seem with the two of them. Like something more is going on here. The things that she says sound like they have some double meaning to them. You just want the scene to be over as soon as possible. Luckily in this movie, the scenes have a lifespan of about 30 seconds, like the audience has a timer.
When he feels cold.
Alright, new scene! Oh, yeah! Now repeat that to the end of the movie where of course Kalar has captured the girl. He takes some of her blood and activates his powerful bone mask. Conan Kalar's daughter and her quickly. I guess her powers weren't that great after all. And then proceeds to Kalar, who is now wearing the bone mask.
Soul is ready!
Now as Kalar with Conan, he is no more powerful than he was without the mask. Nothing has changed, and Conan him. How? Well, as I said before, their structures will fall apart at the touch of a finger, and that's what happens. Conan breaks a board acting as Kalar's footing, and Kalar falls to his The mother was never resurrected, the mask never powered up Kalar, and that means that the ultra awkward scene between Kalar and his daughter never had any bearing on the story whatsoever. It was just there to be creepy. But it seemed like the entire plot had a double meaning. Kalar couldn't take over the world without his powerful working, so he needed to find a pureblood girl to make it work for him. That way, he would feel powerful or adequate enough to take over the world. Conan, on the other hand, fought constantly as he felt inadequate as well, because Kalar stole his favorite from him when he killed his father. So Conan Kalar to get that back. The reason that Conan Kalar is because he was much younger and didn't need special to help him perform well. It's as simple as that. This movie is bad, plain and simple, and this guy is nowhere near as big as Arnold is, but the movie is a little bit better than the original. I'm not so sure that's a good thing, but you can take that as you want. I just hope they don't remake Conan the Destroyer.
On a mountain of skulls in the castle of pain, Kalar sits on a throne of blood, and sore is his bottom from sitting on that very throne. He knows well the pleasures that come from making another warrior kneel before you with sword in hand. He has stolen my true sword from me, for it is much larger than his, because he grows arrogant and wanting of more combat. But he shall tamper with my steel no longer, as I pull my hardened blade out from his own calloused hands and penetrate him with the very weapon he loves so much.
That's good. That was good.